Hey guys, and welcome back to Rooted Homeschool. If you are new here, I'm Christina. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5 kids, ages 1, 2, 5, 10, and 13. In today's video, I am showing you a flip through of the literature guides from the Brave Writer curriculum by Julie Bogart, the author of The Brave Learner. So you may have heard of her through the book The Brave Learner, which I highly recommend, or through the Brave Writer writing program. But then as part of that Brave Writer curriculum program, she also has literature guides for countless books for kids of all ages. I shared this in one of my recent videos, and some of you guys asked to see a flip through, saying that you were really interested or you were considering it and kind of on the fence about it. So I wanted to show you sort of how it works and just explain it to you and let you see what the actual literature guides look like. So it is a PDF that you purchase, and I printed it out at home and then just had it bound for like $5.50 or something like that at Staples. You don't have to do it this way, but that's just how I chose to do it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these literature guides, these don't focus so much on writing, even though they are part of the Brave Writer kind of curriculum. These focus more on engaging with literature, analyzing literature, learning things about grammar and conventions and literary analysis, vocabulary, pretty much everything other than writing for the most part. There are 4 levels. There used to be just 3, but just recently they released the 4th level. So the first level is Dart, the second level is Arrow, the third level is Boomerang, which I'm going to show you today, and the 4th level, which was just released, is Slingshot, and that's for ages 15 through 18. So the Boomerang guide is for 13 to 14 years old. So my oldest is 13 years old, and so I got this mostly for him, but we've been doing it with my 10-year-old, and he's been loving it and learning from it as well. So we plan to do more of these in the fall. We're going to do the first 2 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series, The Magician's Nephew, which there is a Boomerang guide for, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which there is an Arrow guide for. So it'll be really fun to kind of see the differences between the Arrow guide and the Boomerang guide. Okay, so this is the Boomerang guide. So it tells you here to take a look at the Boomerang guidelines. This I did not print, but I just read through it. This kind of gives you an overview of how the program works. This shows you the spin and spiral, which is Brave Writer's scope and sequence. So it tells you all of the things that it will cover. Then you'll see that it is broken into 4 weeks. So for week 1, this is the copywork passage. So it tells you what pages you can find it in the graphic novel. It's also right here, right in the Boomerang guide. Then there's always a why this passage, which explains why this passage was selected. Then there's always more information. So here's in the beginning a little note about copywork. So this also explains a little bit about how to approach copywork in general, but also with this specific text. Especially with it being a graphic novel, it's a little bit different. Then here it takes you through the spelling and vocabulary in this section of the text. It talks about some of the elements that are there. It touches on mood, some more punctuation here, and then it talks about how to explore this passage. So it talks about some of the elements like breath marks and caps. Then again, grammar and punctuation clues and how they relate to how emotion is conveyed. It touches on passive voice. And then here it digs a little bit into one of the things that are mentioned in this story, which is the Executive Order 9066, and how passive voice kind of depersonalizes what that order actually meant for the Japanese people at the time. Then beyond the passage, this digs into a little bit about who the author is. Then also gives some background into, the history of graphic novels. Then you see we have week 2, we have the copywork page again. Why this passage? Again, what to note goes over the spelling and the vocabulary. It goes through the punctuation that is included in this passage, some literary techniques, and then these are specific to graphic novel form. Then we have some bits on perspective and point of view, and a little try it piece where they are encouraged to kind of think about things from a child's perspective. Then some more inside scoop. This looks at manga as a genre and how it influences this work, as well as graphic novels in general, and some of the elements. How to explore the passage. This looks into the creative process. So week 3, you have the passage. We have another perspective. Again, we have the spelling and vocabulary. And it gives some kind of tips in some of them on how to remember how to spell them and the meanings. Talks about numbers, and again, touches on comma, like different uses of the commas at different points in the text. Here we have more punctuation, grammar. This is talking again about perspective and thinking about the way the author and the illustrator might have chosen to convey information. And then this try it section is another exercise, trying to understand someone else's perspective. So another sort of writing exercise here. This touches on contrast clues. Sentence fragments. And then on this inside scoop page, it touches on discrimination against Asians and Asian Americans. And then week 4 copy work. Again, why this passage? More spelling and vocabulary. More grammar and literary techniques. Things to note. So this is again part of the graphic novel form. A little bit more about how to explore the passage. So looking at bold italics and why they would be used, the purpose. Looking at this idea of chronology. Then what can a graphic novel do that a film can't? And then the closing of the story, so a little bit of analysis. Then in the Beyond the Passage of this last section, it touches on the ideas of patriotism as well as what an antagonist is. My baby is waking up. Then we have the think piece questions, and this is a new section at the end. And what's interesting is this kind of gives an explanation of what think piece questions are as a concept, and then this brings you through the think piece questions, which you could wait till the very end to do, or you could do them as you're going through the novel where they fit. Then this is pretty cool. Golden Lines has you select a favorite passage to keep in a notebook. You copy it down, and then some information about why it's meaningful. And then making your own, so make your own sequential art, and you use the following pages in order to create that. And it gives you some of these pages, and obviously you can print as many of these as you want. Gives you some blank lined paper to write on. And then what's really cool is that it gives you book club party ideas. this is just all, again, all of the copywork pages that also are in the back. And that is it. That is the full literature guide in the Boomerang level for the book They Called Us Enemy. I hope you guys found that helpful. I hope you enjoyed seeing what the inside of a Brave Writer literature guide looks like, specifically the Boomerang guide. Again, this is the only level that I've tried so far, so I will update you guys when we get the Arrow guide, but we've really been loving it so far. I really love this approach, so if you have any questions, definitely put them down in the comments. I've linked the Brave Writer in the description box below. Let me know if you have tried any of these literature guides or any of the other programs from thebravewriter.com. If you're not already following Julie at The Brave Writer over on Instagram, I highly recommend it. I follow her and she shares so many different inspiring, encouraging, and just great resources and advice from a home who has graduated her own children as homeschoolers. So if you like this video, please click the like button. If you are not already subscribed, I would love if you would stick around. Click that notifications bell so you get alerts when a new video is coming out. I have plenty more homeschooling, big family life, mom life, meals, all kinds of content coming your way, guys. I hope to see you in my next video, and until next time, stay rooted.